Good evening, everybody. I'm Bofar. Welcome along to the stream. We will be racing around the Circuit Paul Ricard. There we go. The name of the circuit escaped my mind for just a quick second. It's the French Grand Prix Round 7 of F1XL's Division 4 Championship. My name is Bofar. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for everyone who's getting involved with the chat already. And we are joined by our favourite co-commentator, Gunhead.
I was expecting you to say another name. I've got to be honest.
How could I say another name?
I am fantastic, and I'm looking forward to yet another spectacular Sunday of racing from one of the most enjoyable grids I've had the privilege of watching. So happy to be here.
Excellent. Well, we're all happy you're here as well. Here we go. We're going to be getting underway pretty soon. Just want to say hello to everybody who is currently in the chat. Hello, Beastie and Panda, the return of Panda. I'm sure we'll talk about Panda a little bit more in the race. Brain Core, King Jammy. Did you see me last race? I crashed in the pit lane. We did see that, indeed.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming back.
This pit lane. This pit lane is no better. So don't do it again.
Indeed. AsthmaFrog, Lethal Lens, Andrew, you. I think it's
That's
Yo,
me.
but was that you? Oh, nice. I know your name. There we go.
Oh no.
And Ibanita, whom I feel like we've slightly bullied into changing a name, but we'll get onto that in a minute. But yeah, France. You like this track?
Yes, I do. I actually really do. In fact, I watched a Friday race this week, which was taken by a new F1XL commentator for the rest of this season. Formerly Division 1 driver Lightshot 16 is taking over Division 5, and he raced here on Friday. And I wanted to watch it so that I could get a rough idea as to what we'd be expecting strategy-wise from this race. And that was a really entertaining watch as well. So it is a good track, good overtaking, fast. What more do you want? A lot of people don't like it, but I do, especially to watch.
Yeah, it's not the best in real life.
No.
But it's good on this. For some reason, on this game, it's really good. I've always had really, really cool races around here.
Wet race.
Oh, that's gonna be.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, a wet race. Right, we are in the way now, so let's bring the music down and join on track. It looks like King Jamie is going out on track first, so let's jump on board.
Now, King Jamie debuted with us last week, and I don't think I really gave it a lot of thought. I don't know about yourself, but that's a really difficult track to debut at. Obviously, it didn't go well for him, so I am expecting to see more of him today than we did last week, because that's definitely a difficult welcome to XL, you know.
Taking some very wide swerves to warm up the soft compound tires there. It's a good job that there's plenty of runoff space along this track.
Oh, right. I mean, I'm just looking through the grid. We've got 16 drivers this week, and we have a new name for an old face. We have F1XL Magnets, also known as Bonita, or I Bonottle, or Bonta. But he's changed his name because he is a bit of a damage magnet at the moment. So I wonder if he's hoping it goes the other way now.
I love the absolutely meta take that he's taken on this and just gone, well, let's lean into it then, and the magnet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's absolutely just gone for it, you know. He's loving it.
So, and you did say we didn't bully him into the name change. It's purely taken as a response to what's happened to him so far this season, which I would say is quite a commitment to make, to like change your name. And I don't know if he's had to pay to change his name to Magnets.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a commitment to take if he's paid for it. He's like, right, I'm committed on it. That's it. It's not his first time with bad luck. I will put that out there. He did have some rotten luck last season as well, with damage, crash damage, sometimes caused by other people. But I won't point fingers or blame. Accidents happen. I think it's more a continuation on for young Eye Bonital.
Indeed. Right. So we're about to have our first lap time finished. So far, so good for King Jamie. Going just working his way through turn 14, which is lap, and then the final corner, which is pont. There we go. I'm working on my French pronunciations there. Probably a load of poo. But there, setting the benchmark at 132.8.
Right. We are underway. The times are on the board, and it's like you say, first lap time. King Jamie getting himself straight out. You know, I think he's got to forget last week now, and he's just got to race and just try and keep it clean this week. It's not going to be easy because we've gone from Singapore, which is just rough, especially like I say for a first time in the league, and now we have a wet race, so we'll see how he copes with the rain. Hopefully better than he did with the pit wall.
Okay, so D&G Titan next to cross the line, and it goes fastest, 132.1. But Brain Core 132.0 beats him off the bat. So Brain Core currently pole position.
Yeah, it's not a bad lap time. I'm expecting to see these lap times start to tumble as the track rubbers in. I think we're low 131s, potentially into the 130s. We'll see. Some of these drivers, I believe, are capable of that. Your overall impression of the season, this league so far, this season so far. We know who's good on these open circuits. As Rocket Gamer goes into the 131s with the 131.9 for Mercedes AMG Petronas F1. As Saucy Chris retires in the pits, that must be a penalty there. So, yeah, who do you think's going to really come out of the gates on a nice open circuit in the rain? Have you got any ideas as to who you expect to see up there today, or just could be anybody?
My hope is that we'll see a new name towards the front. I think Magnets, who we're just watching now coming across the line, it's definitely showing glimpses of pace as he just goes second fastest, 132.0, so only 100 hundredths or so faster than Bray, his teammate, and not too far off Rocket Gamer as well. But yeah, I think Magnets, if he can repel other drivers on the circuit, maybe turn one of the poles the other way so he doesn't attract people to him. I'm trying to do all my magnet friends. Yeah, I think, and on a circuit like this where there's a lot of runoff space, there's a lot of space to be able to avoid people, I think he could potentially have a good race.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping that Magnets can put some of this, some of the incidents behind him and make his way towards the front of the grid, because he's definitely got some pace, I think.
Yeah. It'd be good to see him make a comeback. Get himself back into the form that he knows he's capable of. Sort of throw off some of the doubts that might have crept in over, his performances over the last few weeks with the issues that he's been having. So yeah, hopefully, you've got an option if you want to avoid the carnage at turn 1 and 2. You either start in first and get the best qualifying lap you can, or you start in last and just let everybody else die at turn 1. Um,
Yeah.
if you're in that midfield, if you're sat in, for example, in this one, dead in the middle, P8, P9, you are right in the middle and anything can happen. So, yeah, qualifying when you have had those issues is very important to try and sort of keep yourself out of trouble as best you can. So, yeah, you're right. It would be really good to see him up there. I think one that we've got to keep an eye on because he's new this season. This is his first race. Is Panda. His pace has increased a lot over the last few seasons. His consistency is a lot better as well. I think he's going to be one to watch out for, especially with changeable conditions, because we don't really know what he's capable of in this grid.
That's right. And he's gone fourth fastest so far, 132.1. So he's definitely on pace with some of the front runners. We're just on board with Beastie now in the Alpine. Who's had a middling season so far, would you say, for Beastie?
Yeah, I'd say so. He's got the pace, he's got the consistency. He just needs to refine it a little bit, I think, and just get used to these guys. I'm just gonna shout out to myself. I've just got a new TV, and this game just looks amazing on this new TV.
Very nice.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful. I broke my last 4K TV. It died, so I've been using a normal HD TV, and now I'm back in 4K UHD. It just looks beautiful.
Well, that's very fancy. You're in 4K. I'm not in 4K. I'm just in standard definition.
Do it. Get 4K. I'll do the Emperor. Do it.
In my little office at the top of my house. Yeah. So very fancy. The 4K.
The game looks so much better. So much better. I was quite taken by surprise when I joined this, and I think it was Jamie who went out straight away, and I was like, oh my. AsthmaFrog crosses the line now, and has he started? Told me he was on his lap and nothing happened, so I'm assuming he's just starting his lap. So I'm going to stay on board with Asthma. Yeah, I'll stay on board with Asthma. The other thing to remember for these guys as well is the finish line is right at the end of the straight, and I always forget that when I start watching. I'm expecting them to get on the board as soon as they start on the pit wall, but it's right at the end of the straight. Is where that timing line ends. So AsthmaFrog, nice sector 1, keeping it clean, keeping it steady. See what he can do over this lap. He's Dundee. The Aston Martin is my wife's favourite car. She said it looks the best on the grid, and I find it hard to disagree, especially with a night race like we had last week.
Definitely. Although I find it really, really hard to pick apart the Aston Martins and the Mercedes in today's race. Well, I was straining my eyes because it was dark.
Yeah,
and it's quite a dark green. So I was really struggling to pick them out. But yes.
Yeah, the only thing is that side pod difference, isn't it? That's that key. That's what you've got to look for, I think, when you're looking at the two side by side. Is that side pod difference? How narrow the Mercedes is.
Yeah. Well, D&G Titans just popped it up into second. So far, 131. So he's the second driver into the 131s, 131.9, beating Magnets and Rocket Gamer. And AsthmaFrog, there it is, the championship leader, finishes off that lap purple in all sectors, 131.8. So that is a strong time. Crucially, for the championship considerations, we haven't touched on the championship standings as of yet. As we jump on board with Scrub, he's just coming to finish the lap now. Standings are as follows: AsthmaFrog is in first if we take out Richie and Smith because they've moved up divisions, but they are still in the standings thing, which is helpful. AsthmaFrog 80 points. Next down is his teammate Stone Shuffle at 63 points, and crucially, he's not here this weekend. So AsthmaFrog
Yeah.
has the ability to really extend the championship.
Braincore are jumping into the 131.7. Those lap times are starting to tumble. I think this track is really starting to get some grip on it.
It is indeed. Dean's Titan just coming to the pits. Is this Rocket Gamer? Rocket Gamer's coming into the pits and validate that lap. Hake. It's Hake on a lap. Just missed those sector times.
People struggling at the minute with these track limits. Seen quite a few invalidations already. Also seen a couple of spinners. Judgy on his first attempt spun in Sector 1. I think Pat Peder had a spin at the start of Sector 2. So a bit of... sorry, midway through Sector 2, I should say. Yeah. A couple of little early spins, little early invalidations. Hopefully they're going to just get it out of their system nice and early.
So I'm just trying to look through and see who is actually on a lap and who's coming in.
Magnets is the next to come to the line, but he bails out into the pit, so it will be King Jamie.
Yeah, let's see how King Jamie does.
He's not used any of his ERS, so
Okay.
that must have been, he must have made a mistake early on and bailed out of the lap. It wasn't invalidated, but yeah, he's now deploying his ERS. Unless mine's just wrong and it's not telling me when people are on out laps, but he did set a lap time there of 132 again, according to my timing screen.
Oh, and I've just seen in the chat that Bunter said it was a free name change, so he didn't have to pay for his name change. It's quite good.
That's okay. He's still leaning into it, though. It's still commitment. Yeah, I'm still impressed.
There we go. Fab. So King Jamie's up on his time so far, about 3/10 up through Sector 1. Let's see as he comes through this part of the strat, through Montreal, there we are, onto the back end of the Mistral Straight, heading up towards turn 10, this fast, flat out right-hander. Always a fun part of the track, I think, to drive on this one. And then through Beausset, turn 11, coming up to turn 12 now. This is a really difficult corner. It feels like it never ends when you're driving on it.
It does.
And it's slightly off camber as well, so it pulls you out to the right-hand side. And if you take too much of that curb, you will have an issue. As I have found out on many occasions during my league races. But King Jamie crossing the line now, 7/10 the improvement up to 7th, 132.1 for King Jamie. So yeah, that's a good.
I think he'll be happy with that. I think that's an improvement. That's pushing him up the order, but a lot of people still yet to set a lap time. We've got Judgy Piehard and Lethal Linz all yet to set a time, so... And Lynn's still in the pits. He's not got long if he wants to go and set a lap.
Yeah.
Sat in the pits.
He's not got a quali button, has he? He's got a quali.
I think he's coming out the pits now.
Okay, good.
I will invite Pat Peder back in. He has just had a disconnection. Yeah, Lethal Lin's going out now. He's cutting that quite close.
So the eagle eye among you will have seen that the second Ferrari is Panda this week and not Powell, and that is because Powell has picked up a 3 race ban by just gaining too many points. So yes, so Powell's not going to be in for at least 3 weeks. We'll see what happens with that in coming weeks.
Just a message to Powell: don't stop racing. Take the punishment as what it is, and try and just let it go. Just forget about it, move on, and come back stronger. And we hope to see you back behind the wheel of a car in a couple of weeks' time.
Now, is that brain core that's just gone fastest? 131.7. We've just under 40 seconds left to go.
No,
Just
our
finished.
timing is broken.
Oh.
So I set Rocket Gamer set the same lap time, but he was on his out lap. It turns out he is currently coming into the final, or coming through the final sector. So I think the next man to cross the line, maybe Panda.
There we are. There is a bit of teamwork there from the Haas drivers. So I did wonder if this was going to happen. And Braincore getting a nice tow off the back of Magnet, who was carried on through the chicane. And looks like they're doing a bit more of a tow, is it? Or not?
No, unfortunately, Braincore invalidated his lap going through that chicane.
So a bit of teamwork there, but it is not paid off on this occasion, as we see DNG Titan go in fastest 137.31.7. That's a very good lap time. Who's on the time? Rocket Gamer has invalidated. Magnets is invalidated. Panda is still on a lap, and he's up on his time so far. But only by a tenth, and he's on a 132.1. Can he make any improvements in the last sector of the circuit Paul Ricard in France? So Panda coming across the line.
Here we go.
Will he be able to improve? He does not improve. Loses out by 500 seconds. And Beastie next across the line. But oh no, Beastie just doing a bit of a spin there. Had already invalidated. We'll want to make sure he doesn't get in the way of Scrub, who's just about to... Oh, Scrub's already passed the line. Beastie's the last one.
The other Ferrari driver, unable to set a lap time, will be starting in P16. That's a surprise from our resident PlayStation man. He's been up there quite a few times this season, so I'm not sure really what he was thinking.
I'm not sure. He's popped up in the chat. He said he spent the past 3 minutes swaying between what setup to run because the rain has thrown him off. A chance of rain. Well, I've been reliably informed that it's a 90% chance of rain for the race. So, knowing Codemasters, it'll be completely dry.
Yeah, bone dry. No, not a drop of rain.
There we go. So there are your standings for qualifying. DNG Titan taking pole position, 131.7, also on a 31.7, and only 1,000ths behind Brain Core in the Haas. Then on the row 2, we'll have Rocket Gamer alongside AsthmaFrog. Row 3, we'll see Magnets, formerly iBontal, with Panda making a debut this season. Here we go. That's run out, and I didn't get through everyone. But it's all right. It'll be fine.
King Jammy in the chat. So it's wet. Now it's wet, so I cry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is wet.
It's a bit wet.
Ooh, that's wetter than a mermaid's pocket right there. That is wet.
Love it.
I heard that one recently. No, I've heard somebody say Otters Pocket, and then I heard somebody say, I was like, I like them. I like Mermaid's Pocket. That's dirty. Right. Anyway.
It's wet, and that's wet rain.
It's wet.
That's not dry rain. Yeah. That's wet rain.
Nah, that is wet rain right there.
I think full wet. I'm seeing a lot of tyres that have got blue sidewalls in the garage.
Yeah,
so I assume
I am
it's going to be full wet.
I am loving the pit crews right now as well. They all look like they've not had a shower in a week, and they were just... I don't know if yours is a bit... Looks like Mine had all just sort of stood there with their arms out.
Yeah, they're literally just like, they look like Lego figures, don't they? And they're all
like,
kind
we
of,
are ready.
there's like a few of them, but they're all kind of slightly inside, slightly outside of each other. They look like they're shadowing each other. And then you've got
It's a good look.
all the people in the top of the garages just chilling, waving their arms
Going
around.
hat.
Someone's clapping even. Don't know why they're clapping. Nothing's happening. It's just rain.
It's the national anthem. It's the national anthem. Ah. Everybody said they're getting wet.
Yeah.
That's why they're all stood like that, you see. That's their pose.
Is it?
I'd hope so. Otherwise, Codemasters, sort your stuff out, man. Come on. Could have just made it so there was nobody there. You know, it's raining. Everybody's going to be taking shelter.
Indeed. Cool. Right. So, rain. It's the big equalizer in Formula One. We've seen people set time in the dry. Who do you have your eye on? Like, and what preset would you have gone for?
Oh, I would have gone straight on preset one. Straight on preset one. If it's full wet, I'm going to go for maximum downforce. So all that grip. Give me all the grip. You know, it's just safer. You know people are going to try and go for a little bit faster. And there's a good... In this wet, it's a good chance it will catch you out if you're trying to go for that fast setup. So I would have gone straight onto preset one, personally. Sure, some of the guys will enlighten us after the race as to what preset they are on. But yeah, preset one.
Well, no one can change them now. So if you're in the chat and you want to tell us what preset you're on, that would be fab. If you don't want to tell people in front of other people, then send us a DM on Discord. That'll help. But yeah, no one can change anymore, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, there's plenty of people who are not looking forward to a fully wet race. Bonta said he went 4. He said 4.
Yeah, I don't believe him.
Asthma said he's on pre-setup 5.
See, I would have gone 1 because you lose a little bit of the straight, but this is a roller coaster when you get in the corners with a lot of negative cambers and low traction zones. If you're on preset 5, good luck. It's full traction control.
Well, not to sound cheeky, but maybe that's why you're in the commentary box this season and not out on track if you're picking preset 1 around France.
How rude! Oh, my feelings. Oh, that was just cruel.
Sorry.
But yeah, that probably is why I'm in the commentary box. Yes.
It's also why I'm in the commentary box as well.
We can be mudded together, don't worry.
Yeah. I'm open about my failures.
If they've gone preset 5 and they make it work, fair enough. You know, in these kind of conditions, I would struggle. I run no traction control, no line, and everything. I would have to turn the line on for this because I wouldn't know where my braking markers are.
Yes, definitely. So predicted pit stop strategy. A game saying you need to at least come in for 1 stop on the wet tyres. You don't have to, but they're saying that the degradation is bad enough that you should come in for a set. About halfway through.
Yeah, this is a sandpaper surface on tyres.
It is indeed. And do you really know why there are different colours of strips on the outside?
Yes, they are designed to slow you down when you go off track because there's no gravel. It's basically like a painted gravel trap in a way, in that it's just designed to slow you down. And I don't think it does anything at all.
Well, it doesn't do anything at all on this game. But I think so. And then the red ones are more abrasive. So the red ones are slower than the blue ones. apparently.
Yes,
That's what I'm
yes,
told.
they are. Yeah, that's.
Um,
So apparently the red ones are in areas where if you're going too fast and you hit a wall, you are going to hurt yourself a lot. So they put the red one. This is I trying to remember where I heard that. It might have been Formula One last year or a year before on the commentary, maybe.
I think I
Could be
learned
wrong.
this. I think I learned this about maybe 4 or 5 years ago when I was watching touring cars, world touring
Ah, fair enough. I'm just watching the Haas of Brain Core, loving the blue, and spending a lot of time on the blue, the blue paint line. Maybe that's how you should circulate this because it's going to be grippier.
cars. Maybe, but it's probably not on this game because go-karts.
Well, yeah, they don't know what they're doing. That's fair enough.
Apparently, Bonda says it does slow you down. There we go.
King Jammy, good luck. We're going to die turn one. I am loving the optimism that you are bringing into this race.
Well, it will be fun for us, though.
Well, I mean, if we get mass death at turn one, we get to do a restart. So we get to watch them do it twice.
Oh yes. What are the rules on that? Is it like however many? Does it have to be a certain amount of people who die? So
Yeah, there is like a minimum cap. If you've only got 2 people, one with damage and one that's out, you just carry on. But if you've got like a mass pile up where say 4 people are out and 8 people have damage and it's just carnage, then they'll do a restart and everybody will get a slap on the wrist and say slow the fuck down and take it easy, basically. And that is down to the race controllers who are on the grid. That is the decision that is made by the guys on track.
So King Jamie has had another spin by the pit lane. Has finally made his way back to his grid spots now. We are going to be going pretty soon in this race. Rocket Gamer's left. Oh no. But we're off. I didn't see any lights at all. But DNG Titan doesn't look like he's made the best of starts. And Rocket Gamer, who isn't actually here, his AI is potentially going to take the lead. Oh, a big sideways moment for AsthmaFrog. And there's a big pile up behind. Ferrari of, is it Panda, has had a massive accident there. Is going again now, but that is DNG Titan out in the lead now. Brain Core in second place, closely followed by AsthmaFrog. And King Jamie's made a fantastic start and makes his way up the inside of AsthmaFrog. And that was a bold move and one that's paid off well. So a little spin coming to the grid, but up to third.
As we have 2 drivers making contact on the straight, and that was Scrub and Lethal Lins just had a nice wheel bang. Both managed to keep it facing the right way, but lost a lot of time. And unfortunately, F1XL Magnets is living up to his new name, and he has dropped down to P13 off the start there. I think he was involved in whatever happened with Panda.
There we go. So a fast and frantic start to this race. Magnets having a look at the inside of Lethal Lins, thinking better of it for now. As we see Party Hard make it past Rocket Gamer, who is just falling down the grid now because of his AI. Has joined back in now, so hopefully he'll be able to take control of that car and make some forward progress because he did qualify well.
Yeah, I forgot I had to invite him back. Sorry, Rocket Gamer, that took too long. I am sorry. For some reason, I was expecting somebody else to invite him, and I'm like, oh, hang on a minute, they're all racing. So I do apologise for that. King Jamie, up into P3. Nice. Yeah, what more can I say? Fair play. He was worried that he was going to crash turn 1, and he's kept it clean on that first lap, that opening lap, and he's managed to get a healthy gap to AsthmaFrog behind him, championship leader, and he is right on the back of the front 2. So, going to keep an eye on that one.
Rocket Gamer has now taken back control of his car and is under pressure from Pat Heder in the Red Bull. And Scrub is bringing up the rear at the moment. Right, okay, so fast and furious start. And it looks like DNG Titan is going to be under pressure from Brain Core down the Mistral Straight up towards turn 8 and 9, the chicane. Brain Core going around the outside. We'll have the inside line for the next part of this chicane, but D&G Titan still trying to stick it up around the outside. This is going to be close into turn 10. Who is going to come out on top? Oh, it's close.
Ballsy.
Really ballsy. And King Jamie is wanting to get a sniff of this action as well. He's all over the back of these guys. So a really tight fight for the top place in this race so far. King Jamie just losing out a bit of traction there. And that has opened up the gap just a little bit. But these guys are streaking away now. AsthmaFrog is second off the back of the front three. With Hake Zhao in fifth, that's good for Hake Zhao.
Right now, though, it does look like everybody's jumping on board the Hake train. A lot of cars behind him, a big, long queue of people.
Big battle for the lead. King Jamie making his way past Braincore. Braincore lost 2 places there because D&G Titan made his way past, and then King Jamie was like, I'm going to follow you through. So King Jamie up to second now. D&G Titan's retaken the lead. But these guys are having a fantastic scrap out front. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, that's fine. I'm wondering if this is a difference in setup. I wonder if maybe King Jamie's gone for a lower downforce setup, which is giving him the opportunity to put these moves in. But we will see on this straight, see the difference in the straight line speed if they are on different setups.
Yeah, of course, you're not going to have any DRS at this point because stopping wet track. King Jamie pulls out, but
Saucy Chris as well is going side by side with BCNUFC, and he does make it to the apex, just gets that move done over the Alpine. So Saucy Chris now looking at the rear end of Hake Zhao as Beastie loses grip coming out of that chicane and drops another few positions, but he does keep it going, no damage, no spin. So he only lost a couple there, just got refocused.
He's got a time penalty. Did you say what he's got a time penalty for?
I think when he's just done that little excursion, losing traction, he's picked it up there.
And whilst we're having a look at Saucy Chris, I've just seen King Jamie has taken the lead. So through turn 11 and 12, King Jamie has made his way past D&G Titan. So from 7th, I think, on the grid, he is now in the lead of this race. So what a fantastic start for King Jamie, putting that race last week behind him, sets the fastest lap of the race. He's the man on the move.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job right now in the Alfa Romeo. Wouldn't be surprised if this performance continues to see him get signed in a few races. This is a really good showing today, as we did have a yellow flag there, and I think it was Pat Peda and GWA Panda who are now quite considerably far off the back of Scrub. Unfortunately, did miss what happened between those two.
I thought they were going in the pits. But,
I thought so as well.
Right, so D&G Titan pretty close on the back of King Jamie. Will he make a move for the lead? Goes to the outside into turn 8. Will he be able to have that space? He does. He sweeps around the outside. Will King Jamie is fighting back up, and that's a fantastic defense there from the Alfa Romeo driver. Stuck around the outside and was like, not this time. I am keeping this hard-earned place, and King Jamie stays ahead.
Yeah, it does look like D&G Titan may well be on preset 5. King Jamie on a better downforce. He's got much better grip through the corners than D&G, but D&G is really fast on those straights.
He is indeed.
Bit of a wobble there from both drivers.
Yeah,
still managing to sort of. Sorry, yeah, I was going to say they're still bringing a little gap now to Braincore in third, struggling to keep on the back. So I'm just going to drop a bit further down the grid. Keep an eye on this fight with Hake Zhao.
AsthmaFrog's pretty close on the back of Braincore now. Pulls out to the outside, making his way down, and has got the position done by the time they reach turn 1. So AsthmaFrog up into the podium places, as you see Panda get a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's easily done here because it's really short entry. you come straight off that corner, and you want to gain as much time as you can. And the speed limiter comes up pretty quick.
Yes, but I am glad that they changed the pit lane entry for this track, because before the current layout, it was pretty terrible. I don't know if you remember, but you joined it after the last corner before, and it was just a really sharp right, left, horrible, terrible pit lane entry. It is a lot better now.
That's good. So, also, I didn't realise this, but Saucy Chris has moved from Williams to Red Bull.
Was he not always in Red Bull? Oh, I'm gonna have to check
No, I
standing
think
now.
he was in Williams, wasn't he?
He was in Williams.
Smith's. So he's moved. Has he moved teams, or has he accidentally picked the wrong team? I don't know.
We may have picked the wrong car, or he has been signed as a replacement for Richie M, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, DNG Titan just touching the back of King Jamie there. Had a bit more traction coming out of turn 12, and that's caused him to just fall back a little bit, and is now right in the clutches of AsthmaFrog. So championship leader, currently in third place, will want to look to try and make a move, but DNG Titans looks like he's got the power down pretty quickly and has built that gap back up again, and is right back on the back of King Jamie. As we saw at least 3 people set fastest lap of the race.
I thought, oh, it's flashing. Is it like somebody crashed? No, just 3 guys going really fast. I will say, Hake Zhao is definitely on a fast setup. I think he's preset 4-5, because Saucy Chris is gaining massively in the corners but losing considerably on the straights to the AlphaTauri driver, and that's going to make him really difficult to overtake. I say that, but he's getting right up his. But again, the AlphaTauri just seems to pull away on that straight line speed.
Yeah, it does look like he's on one of the higher presets, isn't he? Much more straight line speed, and he's managing to keep that place from Saucy Chris, and there's now just a massive train behind him. All of these drivers now within a second of each other from the lead up until P12. Everyone's within a second of each other, which is what you get. And we've not even got DRS. It's not even a DRS train, because we don't have that. It's not even active.
It's a rain train.
A rain train.
Sorry, but yeah. So far for me, the surprise of the day is AsthmaFrog. Unable to put a challenge into these front 2 so far, but I wonder if maybe he's just slowly getting his eye into these wet conditions, and he's just going to gradually get faster as this race progresses. But as it stands, as you've just said, no DRS for any of these drivers in these torrential rain conditions, so he's going to have to do it all on corner speed and braking zones.
So Hake Zhao was just fallen down the order, down to 13th. Didn't see what happened. As we see, also Magnets and Rocket Gamer going side by side through turn 1. Oh, there's a bit more of a magnet there, and they've come together. Rocket Gamer and Magnets. Looks like Magnets might have a bit of damage. I'm not quite sure.
I can't see any missing wing.
No, I can't see anything on Rocket Gamer either. Panda picks up another time penalty right at the back of
That's
the grid.
King Jamie.
Ooh.
Sorry, King Jamie's got one as well.
No, crucial. So King Jamie's in the lead, currently by 0.8 of a second. But is it for corner cutting?
It must be a corner. It's a 3-second. I'll double check on race director.
Have a look.
It is, yeah, it is. 2 warnings on the opening lap, and then a couple of warnings, and yeah, lap 7 he has picked up the penalty, so he's going to need to just calm it down a little bit and just try and maintain good pace at the front while avoiding those infringements.
There we are. So Judgy making his way past Beastie into 7th through turn 11, both say. They went side by side through there, famously where Charles Leclerc drove straight into the wall last year in real life.
Oh yeah.
And didn't he say the famous line, "I'm stupid" or something?
Yes, something like that. I'm so stupid, I think is what he said. Yeah.
There we go.
I'm not. We'll not go there. Poor Ferrari. They are still the mean team of Formula One. I don't know
Look
if
at
you
this
saw.
long train now behind Party Hard.
Ooh,
Party
yeah.
Hard leading this train of, looks like seven cars. Um, weaving a little bit there to try and keep Judgy behind. Judgy going up the inside of turn 3. We're going to stick it around the outside of turn 4. We'll have the inside line for 5, Camp. And let's see if he keeps it. Yes, he does. He keeps that place. So Judgy up to 6th there.
Lethal Lins moves into P9 behind, so there's battles all the way through this train. People trying to jockey for positions, thinking that they could be the one to break this train.
Yeah, and
As
there's a bit of a gap now between Judgy and Saucy Chris, who's going to have to work quite hard to close this gap, which has opened up over the last couple of laps there, because they were all within seconds of each other's. But a couple of groups now forming.
Just got on board with GWA Panda, who has taken a massive gamble after the incidents he's had early on and jumped onto the intermediate compound tyre. I personally think it's just a little bit too wet for that, but I'll keep an eye on the gap between himself and Magnet, and we'll see how that shapes out.
We'll have to see. So we're on lap 8 of 27 in France. King Jamie is currently in the lead of this race. Has a 3-second time penalty though, but he's closely followed by DNG Titan, who took pole position but fell down to 2nd, and AsthmaFrog, the current championship leader. And then we've got some people going down the order there. I don't know if that's someone into the pits.
Yeah.
The fastest lap of the race. Is it Wolf in the pits? Wolfie?
Yeah, Party Hard and Wolfie dove into the pits. Party Hard jumped into the pitch, which has allowed Beastie a little bit of clean air. So he's now the leader of the train with Rocket Gamer behind. But he is already starting to break that a little bit. Nearly a second between himself and Rocket Gamer. So Beastie may have been held up somewhat in that group.
Indeed. Now, let's have a look. Lethal Lin's looking pretty racy on the back of Rocket Gamer. Also has a 3-second time penalty, but he's pretty close onto the back. And as they head onto the Mistral Straight, we'll be looking to make his way past. Started right at the back of the grid, did not set time in qualifying, and didn't have a qualifying ban either. Was overwhelmed by the choice of 5 presets. And the impending wet weather from a dry qualifying, and meant that he didn't set time.
Yeah, there's always a danger when you come into these weekends. If you've not done any wet weather practice, then there's a danger of coming into the weekend somewhat blind to if it does rain, where you just don't know what to do, and you're kind of hoping that somebody else, maybe in a party that you're in, sort of let slip on what they're going for. So yeah, I think, yeah, like you say, he did mention he was just a little bit confused as to what to do with setups. It's still really close at the front. DNG Titan unable to get past King Jamie, but King Jamie equally unable to give the 2 guys behind him the slip. So just trying to keep an eye on the lap times between the guys that have boxed and the guys that haven't. Still in the 149s average for the top 10, and I'm just going to stay on board now with Party Hard for a couple of laps just to see what sort of lap times we should be seeing on a fresh set of rubber.
What tyres Party Hard on?
Everybody's still on the wets apart from GWA Panda. The gap has opened up some more between Panda and Magnet, so I think his gamble is not paying off at the moment.
No. And there we go. Magnus setting the fastest lap of the race.
That's 1.5 seconds faster than Beastie's last lap. So if he can keep pushing at this speed, when all's said and done and the boxing is completed, Magnus might have just given himself quite a healthy undercut.
Okay, so The battle for the lead is pretty intense at the moment. DNG Titan just not letting King Jamie build up a gap, the gap that he needs, because he has that 3-second penalty looming over his final race position. AsthmaFrog is also tagging on the back of these guys as King Jamie comes into the pits now. So let's jump on board with the Alfa Romeo driver, see what he puts on. We imagine it will probably be another set of wet tyres, but will he try and take a gamble? Let's have a look.
He seems to be going for that undercut as well, so we'll see how powerful it really is after this stop, and we'll see where he comes out in relation to the guys that have already stopped.
So Jamie, first of the front runners to blink first, puts on another set of wet tyres, has come out in 12th place, just behind Pat Peder. Now, is that going to hold him up? Is now the time for Titan to come in? But we're not even halfway through this race yet. Is that too early? Do you think that's too early?
I'm not sure. I mean, it depends on whether or not they're being told that the rain is going to ease off, but not... I mean, if they say, oh, the rain's going to ease off and it's going to go into by lap 20, that's too far for your first set of tyres with high fuel. So we'll see. This might yet be a 2-stop race for these guys. Otherwise, you're going to be cutting it close when you get to the end on those wets. You're not going to be enjoying the grid.
Indeed. And also his preset might be paying might have something to do with the tyre wear. Maybe he's just really tanked his tyres because of the type of preset he's on. Things did look a bit slidey out there, but that could be just because it's wet, could be because of the preset, could be a mixture of both. So we'll have to see what DNG Titan does as he comes around the final corner, and he jumps into the pits. So Titan jumps into the pits. It'll be interesting to see if he does come out ahead of King Jamie. King Jamie did make his way past Pat Peder, so King Jamie has open road to drive into. Another set of wet tyres goes on the car of DNG Titan, and let's have a look to see where Jamie comes out. Oh, Scrubs retired. What's happened there?
He has crashed out of the last corner on the straight, and we have a safety car.
Oh my,
that
drama!
That is a full-force safety car, and that has just comes out in front of DNG Titan. Does King Jamie after the stop. Now, the leaders have already passed the safety car, so King Jamie should just go. Yeah, the green flag is on the back of the safety car. Oh, as the safety car cuts across the nose of DNG Titan, who nearly runs into the back of it. Oof, that was a lucky escape from the from the McLaren driver.
Well, touching the safety car, coming even close to the pit box is really hard. Go on.
King Jamie just stopped on track and people overtook. I think they might have had a little glitch. Maybe it was telling him to go back behind the safety car, or maybe he thought he overtook when he shouldn't have, and he got a bit worried. Don't worry, King Jamie. If you overtake the safety car and you shouldn't, you will just get an instant disqualification.
Yep. We had one of those earlier on in this season. I think
we did.
What was it?
Asthma?
Yes, it was. Yeah, and he was on course to win the race, wasn't he? He was on course to win race,
yeah.
And he passed the safety car, and he got instant disqualification. So yeah.
I think I know what King Jamie stopped for. Delta would probably be my guess.
Yes.
He might have been quite far above the Delta time, and yeah, he might have had to stop and Lego back down in order to save a penalty.
So here we go, lap 12 of 27 under safety car conditions. AsthmaFrog from the lead comes into the pits, and everyone pretty much behind him is coming into the pits. You see everyone rushing out to be able to service their cars. He just gets out ahead of Brain Core, so he didn't have to be held in the pit box, and that is going to be crucial for AsthmaFrog. Will he be able to retain the lead of this race? What's happening? Yeah, he will. So AsthmaFrog and Saucy Chris making massive gains under safety car conditions. They managed to keep their positions ahead of King Jamie, who pit in under green flag conditions, as did DNG Titan. So a massive change around at the start, at the front of the grid. Is just that a bit of luck, or do you think AsthmaFrog just knew something?
Oh, that was definitely luck on his side, but the safety car playing into his hands just got that free pit stop. That free, yeah, okay, I can pit. I'm not going to lose anything. Nice and easy, and be interesting to see what AsthmaFrog can do from the front with a bit of clear air at the start of this. Saucy Chris may be a little bit of a cork in the bottle for King Jamie and DNG Titan, which might allow AsthmaFrog a little bit of clean breathing space on the restart. But Saucy Chris, you know, he was already up, I think, 10 positions before the safety car came out. So we'll see what he can do from P2 now. He's going to be loving that. He's I think definitely our biggest gainer from the start of this race. Yeah, he's up 13 places now.
Wow. Fantastic effort there. Up 13 places. Here we go. We're waiting for Panda and Magnet to get on the back of this train. Crucially, we've got 3 drivers with drive-through penalties to take for speeding in pit lane as they came in. So that is not good. We've also got 4 drivers with 3 seconds of penalties for track limits warnings. Crucially, King Jamie, who is in 3rd, has 3 seconds, as does Rocket Gamer, Beastie, and Lethal Linz.
Yeah, and if this turns into a bit of a train after the safety car, then King Jamie could lose out massively at the end of this race. They'll have, I say this is going to go in lap 14, so maybe at the end of the next lap, potentially lap 15. It won't be out past lap 15, but yeah, hopefully there's enough time for King Jamie to get a bit of breathing space and at least hold on to a podium finish.
Indeed. Right, we are about, let's say, halfway through. Yeah, we're over halfway through now. The race. Who do you think? This race has changed massively now with AsthmaFrog and Saucy Chris jumping King Jamie and DNG Titan in the pit stop phase through the help of that safety car. Do you think they're in kind of the prime space to take a win and fight for the win, or do you think King Jamie and DNG Titan, who've had some really good pace all race, do you think they're going to be able to get back up to the front?
Well, I think so far what these front runners have shown us is that, you know, it is really difficult to overtake in these conditions. So if AsthmaFrog can keep it clean, no penalties, I wouldn't bet against him. He's definitely got the discipline to win races. So and also King Jamie in the chat has confirmed that his delta is the reason for him stopping.
Yeah, there we go. That's just one of those Codemasters quirks that comes out when a safety car comes out. Oh dear,
we keeping you up, mate.
Keeping me up. This is way past my bedtime, I have to tell you. But what an entertaining race for me to stay up with. There we go. Safety car is coming in this lap. So AsthmaFrog will be taking over the setting of the pace. What do you want to do? It's quite a long run down to turn 1. Would you want to go early or late?
I would want to go when I'm in a straight line. So probably late. In these conditions, their tyres are going to be fairly cold at the minute. Unable to race at pace. These wet tyres do drop off massively in temperature. So yeah, I'd probably wait, if it was me, until after the final corner and then just go for it and try not to hit a wall. But you never know. You might back them right up and then boot it before the final corner to try and get some temperature in before turn 1.
Yeah, and that has, and I think that's probably what happened to Scrub, unless he jumps in the chat and tells us otherwise. But it looks like where he ended up on the pit straight in the wall, that's probably what happened. He lost traction under acceleration. Looks like AsthmaFrog is bolting now. so taking a relatively early one, and King Jamie catching Saucy Chris out, but he haven't passed the finish line yet, so he had to jump out of it, and that's allowed D&G Titan to get involved in the mix as well. So Saucy Chris, lucky there that he wasn't caught napping, and yeah, King Jamie was just a little bit too fast, which is not something that you normally want to hear, that you're fast, but in this
normally
occasion,
that makes you happy.
not so much. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately as well, Rocket Game jumping the gun a little bit for ignoring yellow flags. He picked up a 5-second penalty. That's because the green flag doesn't start until you cross the line. So as King Jamie backed out, he should have backed out of any move that he was making before that line came around. So yeah, that's 5-second penalty for Rocket Gamer, taking him up to 8 seconds now.
Yes, but he's just made his way past Judgy. So has Beastie. Magnets picks up another time. It's the first one he's got. Yeah. And Lethal Lynn's up the inside of Judgy there on that fast corner. So that was a very bold move indeed. I don't know if it was desync or not, but Beastie looked like he was getting way out of a line there and having a bit of a moment. But it might have been desync. I don't know. You never know.
I'm hoping it was desync, because you don't want to be out of shape there too often.
Well, after the desync issues we had last week,
yeah,
I would prefer it just that everyone was fine. But there we go. Judgy coming into the pits. As with a bunch of other people coming into the pits there. It looked like there was a bit of a coming together with Panda. There's 4 guys into the pits, 2 Williams, the Ferrari of Panda, and the Alpine as well, coming in, and looked like somebody had a bit of a coming together, and a bit of wing came off there. Good job they're coming into the pits to be able to get that fixed.
Unfortunately for Panda, he went into the pits, I think, initially to serve his penalty, picked up the damage, so has to go back around and back through the pits again to serve that drive-through penalties. So the return of Panda has just not gone his way so far this weekend.
Do we think Panda is secretly Esteban Ocon?
He seems to be today, yeah. He is definitely replicating Ocon's performance. Penalty man.
I will get all of the penalties. Penalties equals points, right?
Yeah, not the points you want, though, my friend.
No, penalty points.
I've noticed King Jamie burning through his ERS reserves to try and stay on the back of these front 2, and he's just not able to do it so far. They are saving a lot more energy than King Jamie, and D&G Titan as well is burning through more than the front 2. He needs to start being a bit more conservative as he picks up another time penalty.
Oh dear, time penalty. As people are so close to each other, after a safety car, that is going to hurt your race more than anything else, I would say. You have to keep it nice and clean, because you can make up a bunch of places by keeping it clean. Oh, a bunch of fastest laps there. Saucy Chris, D&G Titan Brain Core ended up with Rocket Gamer there, 147.3. So fastest, the track is getting faster, and these guys on fairly fresh tyres as well due to that safety.
Yeah, I've just seen Wolfie back in the pits again, so I think he is now changing tyres. Last time he went through was to serve his drive-through, so I'm just going to stay on board with him, see what compound he's sticking on his car.
Doesn't look
looks like another set of wets.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's getting any lighter, the rain. Saucy Chris fairly close on the back. AsthmaFrog feeling the need to go defensive into turn 8, and it looks like he's managed to keep that place for now, but he will have a reduced line, and Saucy Chris got really good traction off of turn 9, and up the Mistral straight they go, but it looks like AsthmaFrog's on a faster preset because he just manages to sweep back ahead as they go through turn 9? 10. I guess.
Somewhere. They're definitely going around a corner.
Don't
worry
going
about
around.
it.
One of the main turns.
bit of a roller coaster section this is, but Saucy Chris definitely seems to be on a much better cornering setup. But that is costing him in those straights when he does have the opportunities to overtake. He's just losing out to Asthma.
Yeah.
And it's gonna, if he does make the move, it's then going to be really hard for him to hold it on the straights.
It is, and that's one of the dangers of a track like this, where the straights are so much more powerful, I guess. You get so much more value out of being fast on the straight here than you do at being fast through the corners, because there are so many straights and so many places on this lap where you're full throttle.
Preset 1 would not have gone well for me, I think.
No, I think not. I think preset 1 maybe would have, yeah, not so good.
Maybe preset 3 then.
Saucy Chris, that just so much faster through the corners, making his way alongside through turn 7, Mistral, but then they're alongside on the straight. Oh, he is on the inside now. A little bit of wheel banging there going on between these guys, and Saucy Chris has made it in front, so enough. Maybe he burnt through a bunch of ERS, maybe saving it up for a few laps to find the best time to pull alongside. Will he be able to keep that place though? Because AsthmaFrog is pretty quick on the straights, and the more these guys fight, the more it allows everyone behind King Jamie, DNG Titan, and Brain Core to catch up and be in with the shout of
DNG Titan.
Titan's gone sideways. What's happened there?
That was a good save. It looks like he just lost it under braking going into that long right-hander. Tried to do a Leclerc by the looks.
He is not stupid though, so there we are.
He's not. No. He did not hit the wall.
He did not.
Good job. It's a very, very good job to avoid the wall in that. But that's given Rocket Gamer a bit of an onus, and Rocket Gamer's gone around the outside. What a move from Rocket Gamer.
I just missed that one, sadly.
It's okay, I've clipped it.
Excellent. Ping
that was a great bit of driving.
We'll have a look at it back on the stream later on.
Yes.
There we go. So Saucy Chris is now in the lead of this race, has yet to win a race this season, has shown glimpses of speed and some decent pace, but hasn't had the results so far. But yeah, it seems to be pulling away now. 1.1 seconds the gap to AsthmaFrog, and yeah, we thought he would struggle to get past AsthmaFrog, but he's good. And DNG Titan's just left the session. I don't know what's happened there. He's still going, so it looks like he's disconnected. So it's gone from bad to worse for DNG Titan. Had a spin, lost a bunch of places, then lost a bunch of place to Rocket Gamer, and now is disconnected.
Oh, and King Jamie has made his way up into P2.
Yes.
So King Jamie's made his way past AsthmaFrog.
Yeah, so King Jamie still has 6 seconds of penalties, but has worked his way back up into second place ahead of AsthmaFrog. So there we go. There's fighting old Alfa Romeo yet.
But look at Saucy Chris with 3 seconds already, doing a Max Verstappen in that Red Bull and just disappearing at the front.
New team, new Chris, maybe. I don't know.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Right now, this man is on fire. Well, I hope. Well, no, don't be on fire. But you know.
Well, even if there were some flames, I imagine there's enough rain out there to stop any serious injuries happening.
Yes, I would say so. So out of the top 4 drivers, AsthmaFrog still with the most battery to use. He is still sat in net P2 after King Jamie's penalties are added, but you know, I think as we know as drivers, you definitely want to do it on track. You want to be in front of him at the end of the race. You don't want to win it on penalties. So AsthmaFrog got a lot of work to do if he wants to get back past King Jamie.
Indeed, but it looks like King Jamie's pulling away. Gap now nearly a second. So do you think if King Jamie can kind of pull up that second and break that toe, do you reckon he's got the pace to pull away?
Possibly, yeah. He might just, if he can get rid of AsthmaFrog's slipstream advantage at the moment, then yeah, I think he might be able to just pull away. But I don't know if he'll have enough in the tank with 7 laps or 6 laps almost to go to make it happen.
Okay, so we're on lap 20 of 27. Saucy Chris has come up from where on the grid? How many places have he gained?
P15 was he, or 14?
Yeah, so 14 places gained for Saucy Chris. King Jamie's gained 5 places in second. Did lead the race for a bunch of time, but looked like he was pulling away from AsthmaFrog, but AsthmaFrog's gone, actually, no, you will not pull away from me, and has come right close again. Brain Core in 4th, lost 2 places off the start, same as Rocket Gamer, who's in 5th. And then we have Beastie in 6th, who's gained 5 places, and Lethal Lins, who started right at the back of the grid, up into 7th. 9 places gained for Lethal Lins.
Yeah, that's a good drive there from Lethal Lins. Going to be ruining his penalties at the end, but he'll be. I think he'll be happy with the pace he's shown in the wet conditions, if nothing else. The other thing, like Rocket Gamer, the thing to remember is he dropped all the way down to like P12 off the start because he had that disconnect. So he's gone from the top of the grid to the back of the grid and back up to close to the front of the grid. So Rocket Gamer doing a good job there for the Aston Martin team.
Oh, had the Haas coming up the inside of AsthmaFrog. Brain Core making his way into 3rd, running off the track there a little bit, and Rocket Gamer wants to get involved as well, pulling out to the side. They're going 3 wide down the back of the Mistral Straight, and it looks like AsthmaFrog's managed to get his nose back ahead. Well, will he come to the corner? Yes, he does. So AsthmaFrog keeps the place, but there was a hairy moment there for the Aston Martin driver, as 2 cars came to attack him at the same time, and Brain Core's lost out there to Rocket Gamer. So Rocket Gamer back up to 4th, but actually has 8 seconds of penalties. So yeah, you want to do it on track and you want to have those moments, but yeah, Brain Core still on for a net podium finish. I think 3rd by my calculations. He will get
30s. 30s on the cards for Brain Core. King Jamie, though, has been given a bit of breathing space now, so we'll see if he'll be able to open up the gap to AsthmaFrog a bit more. 1.3 seconds currently is where it sits, with 4 seconds to Saucy Chris in the lead. So we'll see how that one shapes up for King Jamie. It's a tough ask, but tyre deck comes into play towards the end. We'll see what he can do.
Yeah, and with Asthma, Rocket Gamer, Brain Core having those moments where they're all really close on the back of each other and fighting down the straights, could allow King Jamie to just extend that gap a little bit more and get a bit more breathing room. But we're on board with Lethal Lins at the moment. 6 seconds of penalties for the Ferrari driver, but he's fairly close on the back of Beastie, and we know he's pretty quick on that PlayStation controller, our sole PlayStation runner, I believe, because I don't believe any of the newer people are PlayStation.
No, he's still our resident PlayStation player.
There we go. Bit of cross-platform action. But still.
Sorry, I was going to say, still early on in the cross-platform, and it's good to see that we are slowly getting a feed of PlayStation PC players joining. I know that Rocket Gamer switched to PC because it was cross-platform, but it's good to see. Good to see the difference in consoles on track now.
Yeah, it's nice. Gap now
over the back of Beastie.
Gap now from Saucy Chris to King Jamie is now 5 seconds, and King Jamie has not been able to pull a gap to AsthmaFrog. Instead, AsthmaFrog's managed to reel King Jamie back in again. So a real kind of yo-yo happening gaps-wise, and having a look up the inside into turn 1, maybe not thinking, just have a go down the straight. Hello. Rocket Gamer going very wide off track there onto the red, very grippy. Oh dear! And was that I think that was that was a board that I think he hit. I thought he'd hit Brain Core and there'd been a massive incident there, but just taking out one of the brake boards for Rocket Gamer coming back on the track.
Sooner see him take out a brake board than a front wing. So let's try and keep it clean, Rocket Gamer, and keep your head focused and
AsthmaFrog making a move up into the inside of turn 8, but King Jamie just keeping enough speed around the outside, manages to keep that place. But AsthmaFrog is definitely wanting to do it on track and has picked up a time penalty in the process going through the chicane of 8 and 9. So now he has 3 seconds of penalties, and
safety
that
car
opens up. Oh, safety car! Who's that?
Ooh, that's Judgy. Judgy is crashed, and I can't see where. Ah, he's just crashed going onto the straight in sector 2.
Yeah.
Safety car at this time of the race.
There
Saucy
we go.
Chris is going to be like, why? And GWA Panda gets another drive-through penalty.
Oh gosh.
Do not box, guys. Don't pit. You're going to have like a 1-lap sprint. There's no point.
Yeah. So
Jamie boxes.
Let's come into the pits.
Don't listen to me then. What do I know?
Oh no.
No.
Gosh.
Oh.
Right.
Just...
Has he gone into the pits?
Yes. I thought Saucy Chris had just gone past safety car, but it was not Saucy Chris.
There we are. So Saucy Chris has been picked up by the safety car now. I built up like an 8-second gap. That is now erased. But crucially, the car behind him, AsthmaFrog, has 3 seconds of penalties. Brain Core's on for a second place finish if he can keep it clean and no penalties.
And D&G Titan as well may find himself back in the podium spots if he could stay within the time of AsthmaFrog. If he stay within 3 seconds of AsthmaFrog of the restart, he might find himself going from 7th all the way up into a nice 3rd.
And I would
I'll
say,
take that from 7th.
Right, look at this. So that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 riders. 5 riders, drivers. Drivers. Pilots.
Yeah, that's is that what the Spanish or the Italians call them? Pilots?
Yes, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, we've got 5 people without penalties. And most people have got at least 3. But there's quite a few with 6. A couple with 6 and 1 with 8. There's potential for Party Hard to finish 4th in this race. Currently in 12th.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how this shakes out when they all cross the line. There's going to be some unhappy and some very happy people, I think.
Yes. As Powell says in the chat, anything could happen. I think that was for something else, but for the prediction that Panda can still get points, I think that ship has well and truly sailed, especially with the amount of water that we're seeing in France.
Yes, unfortunately, Panda can't swim, and has another drive-through. He is doing his best Ocon impression, and yeah.
So Jamie's just popped up in the chat and said his tyres were gone. He had to box. So
I mean, I think if you weren't verging on a puncture, you might as well have stayed out, because it's going to be a 2-lap sprint at the end of this race. Lap 26 and lap 27. If your tyres could have held on just that little bit longer, you might have found yourself a little bit higher up the field, but we've still got a few laps left. Anything can still happen, and it tends to in XL.
Yes, it does. So we're on that 25 of 20 seconds. 27, sorry. We're still waiting for safety car to come in, but these guys, Wolfie and Panda, are still way off the pack. But I think Codemasters have built this game so that you don't finish a race under safety car. So I think we will get at least 1 lap of racing, probably, if these guys don't catch up.
Yes.
Yeah. So we won't be finishing under safety car here. How annoyed would you be if you were Saucy Chris? Or do you think because AsthmaFrog's got that time penalty, would you not be so worried if you were Chris?
I'd be more worried about brain core if I was Saucy Chris. But again, it really boils down to how he manages this safety car, as the safety car is indeed going to give them the 2-lap sprint. That's unfortunate for Wolfie and Panda. They're not going to be able to get anywhere near the back of the group. But at least they, well, maybe Panda, but at least Wolfie won't be able to get lapped. I think he could be happy with that. You don't want that. You definitely don't want that. As Panda gets another time penalty.
Gosh.
I think he just overtook.
He has,
Wolfie.
yes. He has just overtaken Wolfie as well. So the rules do not apply to Panda. Oh, King Jamie says they're on like 75%.
I think he could have made it. But I think his penalties would have negated finishing the race anyway in a higher position.
Okay, so we are in for a grandstand finish for this race around Circuit Paul Ricard. 2 laps to go. Saucy Chris is going to be leading these guys away after a late safety car. It's going to come up through turn 15 now. When will he make a break? Oh, looks like he's made a break straight away off the corner. And he's built up a little bit of a buffer to AsthmaFrog. But if we know AsthmaFrog, and we do, he will still try and make a move, I think.
Oh, and Pat Peter's gone round on the final corner. So Pat Peter dropped down to P12 after that spin. So Pat Peter out of this race as well.
Okay, so where will people finish? We've got a bunch of people with time penalties, and we've only got 4 drivers that don't have time penalties. Crucially, one of those is Saucy Chris, who was leading the way and has already built up 1.7 seconds of gap to AsthmaFrog, who is now going to be under pressure from Brain Core. Brain Core goes to the outside, straight past, probably using a bunch of energy. And so that's Brain Core up into second place. Now, can he hunt down Saucy Chris? 2.2 seconds. Go on.
I think AsthmaFrog just got out of the way. I think AsthmaFrog knows his penalty is going to cost him some positions, and he wants to try and claw into Brain Core with no penalties and do a bit of damage limitation as Panda retires in the pits. Although it has brought him out on track again. Yeah, there might have been damage limitation from AsthmaFrog, so we'll see how that shakes out for him.
There we go. Maybe not wanting to get in the way of a final lap shootout. But a 2.2 second gap looks like Saucy Chris, as long as he manages to keep it on the road and within the white lines, should be able to finish this race. Now, will D&G Titan be able to make it into third, do you think? He's got 4 drivers in between him and third place, and each one of them has time penalties.
And right now he is in the window, so right now he is net P3. We'll see how this last lap shakes out. It's all about what AsthmaFrog can do up in P3, because he's got Rocket Gamer all over his rear wing, and Braincore already pulling a second on the Aston Martin driver.
So it looks like Pat Peters coming into the pits again. Don't know if he had any damage. Looks like he's not retired as of yet. So there we go. So Wolfie has gained a place. Wolfie will not finish last. Well, he actually might.
He'll finish. 3 people haven't, so it's okay.
Yes. Party Hard could get forced though, I think. My maths isn't the strongest, but
I think he's still within the window to get at least P5, so again, we'll see when it shakes out. P5, I think, is definitely still on the cards if he can just hold on to the back of King Jamie. Oh, I'm waiting to see how this shakes out the line. Saucy Chris, hands down, driver of the day.
No-brainer, isn't it?
Up 14 places. Up 14 places, and 2 corners left to navigate for the Red Bull debut.
There we go. So at a full fully wet track in France around the Circuit Paul Ricard, Saucy Chris makes up 14 places and wins the French Grand Prix for his new team, Red Bull. Braincore crosses the line second, and DNG Titan will take third. AsthmaFrog takes fourth. Party Hard takes fifth after all these penalties. So a massive gain for Party Hard. He will be very happy with that. Beastie, his teammate, finishes just behind him in sixth. Magnets managed to undo some of the unfortunate activities that happened to him earlier on in the race, finishes seventh. Hake Zhao finishes eighth. Ninth was Lethal Lins. And rounding out the top 10 and the points paying positions is Rocket Gamer. Sadly, after such a strong showing, King Jamie finishes just outside of the points.
But King Jamie will definitely be able to take the positive from that race in that he has the pace to fight with the leaders. And if he can replicate that pace week in, week out, that's not a bad way to end the French Grand Prix. I know that he would have been hoping for more, but there are definite positives to take away from that race for him. But Saucy Chris, well done. And I got it right. I can't believe I got it right. P5 for Party Hard. I would be over the moon with that.
There we go. So there was your French Grand Prix in F1XL Division 4. Your winner, Saucy Chris, making his way up the corridor with a random grin on his face and a nice kick, karate kick for celebration. Yet another Red Bull winning a race, but it's all right. I don't mind as long as it's not me.
I'm just replying to Rocket Gamer in the Discord, apologising for taking so long to invite him back in when he disconnected at the start. So I do apologise for that. That was my bad.
There we go. So there are your final standings for the race. Saucy Chris started 15th, ended up taking the win. Fantastic result for him. Brain Core and DNG Titan rounding out the podium. AsthmaFrog finished 4th. Party Hard 5th. Beastie 6th. Magnets in 7th. Hake Zhao in 8th. Lethal Lins in 9th. And Rocket Gamer running at the top 10. King Jamie in 11th. Wolfie did manage to hold on against Pat Peter in 12th. Pat 13th. And then we had our DNFs of Panda and Judgy and Scrub.
Yeah, unlucky for those three. They'll be looking to try and bring it back for next weekend's race, and I, for some reason, am drawing an absolute blank on what next week's race is.
Also, yeah.
Yeah, next week calendar. Where's the calendar?
Let's have a look. It is.
Trying to find it, and I can't find it.
Mexico.
Oh God! Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not racing. I hate that track. Good luck, everybody. I will be watching through my hands, through my fingers, because yeah, I don't like that track.
There we go. So, driver of the day, I think Saucy Chris. We've already decided that. Fantastic drive from him. Honourable mention, I think, as well to DNG Titan, I would say. Fantastic race for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Despite having that bit of a spin, managed to recover nicely, kept it clean, kept it within the white lines, no penalties, and managed to reap the rewards.
Yeah, yeah. Like I say, I mean, you look at the quality of the field there, and he did very well to just keep it penalty free and take the podium, DNG Titan, and as well look at the quality of the field. AsthmaFrog, Lethal Lins, and everybody. Saucy Chris did a fantastic job getting past everybody and taking the win. So can't take anything away from him. Clean race all the way, I think, and yeah, that was a win. Well done.
Very well done indeed. Now, you took a clip of an overtake? Was that worth? Is that worth having a look at on the stream?
I'll send it to you, and you can do it anyway. I've got to make sure I got the right one though. I'm pretty sure I didn't take any more. I believe it was a Rocket Gamer overtake. You're just gonna have to bear with me for 1 minute because I take quite a lot of clips through these races.
Fair enough. Well, we'll
Oh,
we'll just a little chat. Let us
oh,
know in the comments how you felt your drive was. Did you feel like it was a good drive? Did it not go so well to you? Bonta says, I don't know why I bother again. It's become like a broken record, this, Bonta. You can change your name, but the sentiment is still the same, I feel.
but he still took points. It
But
wasn't a
you
total
still got
loss. He
points,
didn't DNF.
exactly.
He got points. He got seventh, even through all of the carnage.
Yeah, you still recovered well. So, you know, I understand it's annoying, but it's racing, isn't it? It happens.
Right, I found the clip and I am sending it to you now.
Lovely.
Catches. I accidentally pressed the wrong button though, so I just had to get back onto it.
Good stuff. Lethal ins. Bloody horrific. I don't think it was that bad, was it?
Oh, I've
I
seen
mean,
worse.
you started like super, like right at the back. It was very much last. And you managed to fight your way through. So I wouldn't say that's it's like rubbish. Let me just load up this clip. Look. There we go. There we go. Got the clip on now. So there you go. So this is on board with DNG Titan.
It may switch. We'll see in a minute. I'm trying to remember how I filmed it, but you should see an overtake around the outside if I sent you the right one. I did go back by mistake, but I'm pretty sure I sent you the right one.
Yeah, so, oh yeah, so from the look around the outside, up to the inside of the final quarter, that's a very good overtake.
I'd say that would be my overtake of the day. It was clean, it was precise, and yeah, I think it was a really, really well executed overtake. So that was my overtake of the day. I think we should start doing that more because I do a lot of clips.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, and also if anyone who's watching as well, you have a good overtake that you clipped, send it in to us at the end of the race and we'll have a look at them.
Yeah. See what we
at
can
the
do
end
on
in
the
this little
stream.
bit.
Even if we can't do it on this bit, we might be able to like start the stream 5 minutes earlier and do a little bit of an overtake, say, a bit of an analysis from the previous week. We'll see.
Yes, I like that. We like
Nice.
live making the stream better as we go, just with our little chats. But there
Oh
we are.
yeah. We do. We have found a few ways to improve what we do. I think I watched myself back, and my missus criticised me, saying I speak too fast. So I did try and slow it down today.
No, I don't think you speak too fast. I think you're right.
Well, it'd be alright. I do speak quite quickly. I do know that. But so far I don't think I've had any complaints. But yeah.
Okay, so next week we are racing around Mexico. I don't think a particularly high chance of rain there. I think it's fairly set to be dry, but you never know.
I've raced a wet Mexico and it is foul. It's horrible. It's horrible in the dry. It's horrible.
There we are. So that should be a good race. Are you going to be around with us? Are you due to be around?
I will be. Yes, I will.
Wonderful.
I don't start my weekend rotation to the end of the month, and I've only got one afternoon weekend where I may miss in the next sort of 8 races. So
Ooh,
that's much better showing. I've done my overtime for the year. I'm not doing any more.
Yeah, no more welding emergencies taking you away from Formula One.
Exactly.
Fab. Right. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Oh, I never put any music on. Forgot about that.
Too much chatting.
Yeah, far too busy gassing. There we go. Well, thanks for joining us on the stream. Thank you to everyone who was watching live. and type in your comments in the chat below. If you're watching this not live, and you're watching this back, you're very welcome as well. Thank you for joining us. That's it from me and Gunhead for this week. We will be back next week for the Mexican Grand Prix, and then the week after that is a sprint race around Belgium. That'll be good. Double the race around Belgium. That'll be a good one as well.
It's going to be a long night, boys. Buckle in.
Yes, we will. But thank you so much, guys, and we will see you again next week for the Mexican Grand Prix.